Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first video ever, so I'm kind of scared but also really happy to share this video with you guys. So today we will be reviewing Lovely Writer the series. Now this is a Thai BL that started airing on February 14, 2021 on Channel 3 NVTV. Up until now, only 8 episodes out of the 12 have been aired. Before we begin the video, it is important to know that I will be discussing this show in detail. So there's a major spoiler alert ahead. If you don't want to get spoiled, please watch this video after you have done watching all the 8 episodes. So let's get on with the video, guys. The first thing that I want to discuss is the plot. Now, one of the reasons why this show is so loved and popular is because of its unique plot. This show is about Jean, a professional writer. So one day, Jean is given a request by his publisher to try a new genre called boys love because it's quite popular and high in demand. Jean, who accepts this challenge, writes a YA novel called Bad Engineer. Now, this novel becomes so successful and popular that it is being turned into a series. Here is where Jean meets her main lead and hero, Nupsib, who is here ironically to audition for the main lead of Bad Engineer the series. This is how their love story begins. Show overall portrays one of the most toxic sides of the BL industry. Fans oftentimes forget that the actor's personal life and professional life are two different things and start to ship these actors in real life as well, which can have harmful effects on their personal life. So in the show, as we further proceed, we will see when Nupsib starts dating Jean. A lot of fans of the Bad Engineer the series would not like that because they ship Nupsib with the other main lead, Earl. Now this will create a lot of obstacles for Nupsib and Jean's relationship. Sadly, this is also something that is seen a lot in real life, so I'm glad that this show is talking about it and spreading this message and awareness to all the BL fans in the world. Now, the second thing I like about the show is how they have dealt with the concept of consent. Now, this is not what we see regularly in BL shows, so this is something new. In the first episode only, when we see Jean writing a NC scene for his new BL novel, he acknowledges the fact that what he is writing is sexual harassment and is very uncomfortable with writing such scenes. Now this is something a fan has never thought, that the writer himself or herself may be really uncomfortable with writing such scenes, and thus it's another outlook or view for fans. Another episode where they have dealt with the concept of consent is episode 4. Now in this episode, Jean is wasted. Completely drunk, and admits to the fact that he likes Nupsib and tries to kiss him. But Nupsib refuses Jean, telling him that he is drunk and doesn't know what he is doing. Now I thought that was very honorable of Nupsib. Even though he was chasing Jean, he did not do anything with Jean while he was drunk because he knew this is not what Jean would have wanted, and acknowledged the fact that he was drunk. And this concept is further continued in episode 5, where Nupsib and are shooting a romantic and sexual scene for Bad Engineer the series, and the director kept on telling Nupsib and to be more aggressive and sexual, and Nupsib acknowledged the fact that what they are doing is practically equivalent of rape or sexual assault, and is uncomfortable with doing so. So this is something a lot of BLs do not acknowledge, but I'm glad to see this in a show. In fact, in a lot of not only BLs but other shows as well, most of the love stories start because one main lead is drunk, confesses, and they kiss. It has been normalized so much that we do not think there is something wrong with it, but in fact it is wrong. Another thing I like about is how realistic Nupsib and Jean's relationship is. Now, for a lot of times in shows, we see that the main lead has waited for the female lead for ages and never dated anyone else because he was loyal to her. Now, this is something that I do not think will happen in real life. So in the latest episodes, we see where Napsib, after being relieved that Napsib and Jean knew each other, they were talking about their past after they got separated as kids. And Napsib admits to the fact that he felt something for Jean when he was a kid but could not figure out what it was because he was too young. And since he did not know he liked Jean at that time, he did date other people, but when he still felt lonely inside, then he realized that he liked Jean. Now this is something that can actually happen in real life, so it's quite more realistic. Another thing realistic about their relationship is how Napsib said that he would wait for Jean to feel comfortable, only then they will come out to their parents. Now, coming out is something that is different for different people. It can be scary for one, exciting for another, but whatever it is something very personal, and I respect and Napsib for waiting for Jean and respecting his choice like that. Another thing that I like, or a couple that I like other than Jean and Napsib, is Tom and Tiffy. Now, a lot of BLs do not have straight couple, or even if they do have straight couples, they do not give them enough screen time. But I feel like the lovely writer management have handled this couple really well. I also feel like they have broken a lot of gender norms through this couple. For example, I like how Tom knows more about feminine things such as makeup and is okay with it, and the fact that Tiffy is also okay with it, and it's kind of breaking a gender stereotype for men. I also like the fact that they acknowledge Tiffy as bisexual, because in a recent episode when Tom and Tiffy were talking about their past, Tiffy relieved how when she went to an all-girls school, she dated a girl. Now, I feel like a lot of BLs do not address sexuality completely because the spectrum of sexuality is really big. So, they do not really explore other sexuality options or labels like that. So, I'm glad this BL in some way or the other acknowledged other labels in the spectrum. And the last but definitely not the least, the fact I liked is that Napsib and Jean both have open communication with their brothers, and I like the fact how Napsib brothers as well as Jean's brother knew how Napsib liked Jean and was gonna chase and hit on him basically, and supported the fact. I feel like in real life, even me with my sister, I have that kind of open communication. So I feel like that is something very realistic. But if it is different with any of you guys, please leave it down in comments and I will definitely read it. So another thing I want to talk about are the characters and the actors that play these characters. So now we have three main characters in the show: Jean, who is played by Up, Napsib, who is played by Kao, and who is played by Bruce. Now, for me, this is the first time seeing Jean and on television or in a series, but yet their acting is still fabulous. I had seen Kao in a series called Until We Meet Again before, and I feel like his acting has definitely improved a lot, and I like the fact that he challenged himself considering this is a totally different genre from his previous drama. Now, if I go into detail of these characters, I feel like Jean is most relatable, at least for me, and he's my favorite character because he's an introvert like me, yet he's sassy and is not afraid to express his opinions clearly and loudly. Two of the scenes where I found Jean's acting to hit a new peak is when Jean confronted Napsib about lying to him about his identity for a long time. And another scene where I like this is when Jean and confronted each other in the bathroom about liking Napsib. Even though tried to intimidate Jean, Jean did not back down from and I especially like the scene where Jean took Napsib's hand in front of clearly stating his opinion and feelings that he likes Napsib and he will not back down. I also feel like the character of is very complicated and has different sides. Now, recently we got to find out about Er's background and past, which I felt really bad for him because he had this pressure to be perfect from his parents, and the only person he could trust, his sister, told his deepest secrets to his parent because she was jealous of him being the favorite child. And now that she's the favorite child and cannot handle the pressure, she begs him to come back. I mean, if I had a sister like that, I would be so angry at my parents for giving birth to a sister like that, to be really honest. But yet I feel like what he did with Jean was very, very wrong, and Napsib is not a property that he owned or called dibs on. That if he stated he liked Napsib before, Napsib is his. No, it is not like that. So I did not like the way behaved, but I feel like is doing this because of all this anger and hatred he has inside him. A scene where Earth's acting reached a new peak was when he confronted his sister and was going home, and then he started crying when he confronted his past friend called Mock, who is now against him. I feel like he really portrayed the character's emotion really, really well. As for Napsib is called a wolf in the sheep clothing. And I feel like that is true because Napsib in front of Jean is like a good boy, respecting him, but Napsib with any other people, especially Tom, is like a totally new person who's kind of like a bad, but again, we love him all. We love Napsib anyway he is. Ain't that right? The last thing I want to talk about is the editing and the production level of Lovely Writer, the series. Now, I feel like this is one of the best productions I have seen in the BL world. And one of the best things under the production is the soundtrack, the original soundtrack of the show. Now, I'm that kind of a person who usually skips those parts, but even I can't skip them because of how catchy and preppy the song sounds and how well it honestly suits the show. While we are talking about sound, there is another thing I like, which is the background sound effect they put. It's honestly the most hilarious thing I have seen, and I think that it really engages the readers a lot. Now, one of the scenes where they used this was when Jean for the first time saw Napsib shirtless, and then this happened. So now that we have reached the end of the video, I'm going to be rating this show based on these 4 criteria. The first criteria is story, the second criteria is acting/cast, the third criteria is music, and the fourth criteria is rewatch value. And yes, I have picked up these criteria from my drama list. You can also check that out for more reviews. So I have given this show a 10 out of 10 on story because, as I said earlier in the video, this is one of the most unique plots we have seen in the BL world, and I feel like the change from the novel to the series was well handled. For acting and cast, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 because I feel like Ka's acting definitely improved a lot. But and Jean, played by Up and Bruce, their acting was also fabulous, but I still feel like they can improve their acting a lot, and I will be waiting to watch their future dramas as well. For music, as I said earlier, I am someone who usually does not reward a lot of marks for original soundtracks, but again, this is one of the best OSTs I have ever heard, so I'm giving it a 9. And finally, when we come to the rewatch value, I've given it a 9, well, because I am definitely for one gonna binge watch the whole show once it's aired again, because, well, now that I am free, this is all I'm gonna do, be watching dramas. So overall, I have given this show a 9. I feel like this is a very good show. It's like an uplifting show. It can make you feel good, so please definitely watch that. So guys, we have come to the end of the video now, And I hope you liked it, and if you do, please press that like button, and also do comment your opinions or anything that I missed while reviewing these 8 episodes. And if you feel like I've done a good enough job, please share these videos with your friends who also might be interested in the show. Thank you so much for watching.